Hey y'all, so this is my review for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Ep.5. We open up the episode with Ashley just leaving the hospital. She's home now with baby number 2. She seems more at ease now than after her first pregnancy. It looks like the whole motherhood thing now, she's used to it. We fast forward to the next day and we see both of Ashley's kids with Michael meeting for the first time. It's so cute, and Ashley says she just really feels like her family is complete, she's happy. Now, for her marriage, I mean, this is no shade, y'all, but those 2 kids are 2 band-aids put on her marriage. I hope that doesn't come off too mean, but I feel like having a baby sometimes is just a temporary fix for couples, but we shall see in time if things get better. Next scene, we're with Mia and her family, and oh my God, like, did anyone else jump when her daughter just fell to the ground? Like, she fell a little hard. So they're having a little family picnic, and she asks her son, does she think that she works too much? And her son says, yes. And as we can see from different franchises of the Housewives, kids will always tell the truth on the adults on camera. I mean, just look at Giselle's daughters and how they read her every week. But the topic of Mia's mom comes up because she says she wants to provide for her kids the way her mom never did for her. Apparently her mom is only 20 minutes away from her but decided not to join them on the picnic. And we see her telling her husband that she's really trying to have a relationship with her mother, and soon hopefully she can sit down with her. Next scene, we're at Candace's house, and I'm just wondering, why is it so empty in these rooms? Like, at first I thought they were at her mom's house and she was just moving out, but no, she's at her new house in one of her rooms and she's packing for the trip coming up. The trip she's preparing for, as well as hosting, is in Williamsburg, Virginia. I checked and it is 3 hours and some change away from Potomac, and she invited all of the ladies with the exception of Ashley again. And the reason she says she doesn't invite Ashley because she's just assuming after she had a kid that she wouldn't be able to make it, or she's just forgetting. I personally think it's a little bitchy of Candace not to invite Ashley. Let Ashley decide if she wants to come or not. Don't make that decision for her. And who is Candace boring ass on the show to not invite anybody or try to ice somebody out? Her husband is truly her better half because he's encouraging her to at least extend an invite to Ashley. And meanwhile, across town, we're at Ashley's residence where Giselle is coming over to visit. Giselle comes in and sees the new baby and she tells Ashley, oh, he looks nothing like Dean. Now, I took this as the baby number 2, Dylan, looks more like Ashley this time around. And this baby has a little bit of color to it too. Just saying. As they're talking, there's this funny scene of baby Dean just coming into the room and just staring at Giselle. Kind of looking at her with the same disgust as he did with Karen in the last episode. The way he's looking at these chicks, like father, like son. And oh God, we can't even get back to the ladies talking because now Dylan has just pooped his pants with Ashley holding him. Babies, no thank you. No thank you at all. Like, to my lady friends though, you can have this sperm, but that's where it ends for me on the responsibility. Maybe come back to me when they're 6 or potty trained, but yeah, no babies for me. But speaking of shit, Giselle asked Ashley about her booty hole during pregnancy. And I'm guessing Ashley took that as, oh yeah, she shit the table as she was giving birth. I had no idea about this until maybe recently, like a couple years ago, that it's very common for women to defecate on the table as they're having birth. I mean, it makes sense when I think about it, but I'm just like, wow, that happens mostly all the time. The more you know. Hey, I wouldn't know, I'm sorry. But Giselle talks about her experience, and I'm glad she has a sense of humor when it comes to Jamal Bryant never loving her, because she's like, oh yeah, Jamal saw me defecate on the table and he just wanted to leave me. I'm just glad she has a sense of humor about it. So Giselle tells Ashley about Candace's trip coming up, and Candace definitely did not take Chris's advice to invite Ashley. And then we cut to her confessional, and she's saying that, oh yeah, I must have forgot. Well, one thing Candace won't forget is that ass whooping that was handed to her by Monique. But I digress. Giselle invites Ashley anyway. She's basically overruling Candace as an OG and is like, yeah, you coming anyway. I do think though that Giselle wouldn't take kindly to somebody inviting Karen to her event, Or just how she did with Mia and said, don't bring Karen. So yeah, a little hypocritical on Giselle's part, but are we surprised really? So Ashley says she's gonna come, but just for a day. Giselle then gives Ashley the lowdown on what happened at Candace's party on the last episode, talking about Mia. Giselle makes a very nasty comment about Mia to Ashley, saying that she wants to know how she went from this to working the pole at a strip club so she can tell her daughters what not to do. To which I say, no, Giselle, you're actually the perfect example for what your daughters should not want to be. A shallow, jealous, miserable woman who lets a man continuously embarrass her and has nothing to show for it. Right, you tell your girls not to be that. Giselle then talks about Wendy coming to Candace's pajama party and hardly nothing, which was a little bit of hyperbole, and then saying that she came with her short shorts. Like, I get trying to wonder where the old Wendy went, because she's clearly trying to present herself differently this season, but by bringing up like her body work and her coming in next to nothing, it kind of reads as jealous to me. And it's right up Giselle's green-eyed alley. But here's the real tea. Nasty Ash Giselle then brings up a rumor to Ashley about cheating allegations in regards to Wendy's husband. When will Giselle learn? Like, you are throwing stones in a glass house, an ugly glass house that you decorated yourself. Like, she keeps talking about other people's marriages when she's messing around with a philandering preacher just for a storyline. But Giselle thinks Wendy is aware of the rumors, and that's why she's overcompensating right now by getting her body done. And Giselle actually says she's going to confront Wendy about it. Okay, girl, good luck with that. Next scene, we're with Wendy at home in professor mode. Shortly afterwards, she goes to have a conversation with her husband, and she's talking about the juxtaposition of her personality and her profession. Like, how she loves to cuss and she loves trap music and her sexiness, and how people try to just put her in a box. Like, just because she's a professor, she has to be all astute or whatever. But that's how she came on the show her first season, so I'm really confused by that. She put her own self in a box. And this leads to her talking about her new business venture selling candles or home essentials or whatever. Her husband is giving her the best advice he can, like on happiness and achieving your goals. He also gives her advice about following through with her business in the correct way. How did Wendy not know that she needs to register her business? Like, she already bought the candle, she came up with the name, but she didn't register the trademark name or anything? That's really weird, especially someone with 4 degrees. But yeah, it really looks like she didn't start this I want a business plotline that well. Next scene, we're with Giselle. She's going to be meeting up with Robin as well as Mia for lunch. Mia comes in last, looking like she just came from a gala. She has like a gown on, and then she has the little fur over her shoulder, just walking in looking like money. We cut to Robin in her confessional, asking if that's the gown she met her husband in at the strip club she didn't strip at. Ooh, I mean, damn. Shade from Robin at that. So the ladies are just getting to know Mia, and we're in episode 5. I'm just really surprised it took this long for them to like just get Mia's backstory. She tells him about her foster care background. She had an abusive father, a mother on drugs. I bet Giselle feels really bad now hearing Mia's real story. And you can tell because in the confessional after that, she says that she thinks Mia is a survivor as well as a bad bitch. It seems like this little meetup was a success between the ladies, and they all look like they're in a good place. Next scene, we're with Karen, and I just realized this is her first appearance on this episode, and it's like 37 minutes in. Like, damn. She's on the phone with her cousin. She's talking about being sworn in as an ambassador, and it's going to be happening during Candace's trip. And meanwhile, we see all the ladies packing for the trip to Williamsburg. Do all the women have the same rose gold luggage? Like, I saw a lot of that from at least 3 of them. Anywho, the huge bus arrives at Candace's residence. It's really big. It's a big party bus with a stripper pole inside. Because of course. All the ladies are arriving one by one. Wendy arrives and she's in something very sexy. She's given the bathing suit with the pants over it. I know that was a little trend, but it's very sexy for Dr. Wendy. And of course Giselle notices it and is talking like a hater yet again. Giselle says there must be something going on. And I agree, your jealousy. Karen arrives and then we're treated to Giselle's face again. This face of disdain, like, oh my God. Y'all know I had to screen grab it. Like, this is pure and utter disgust. We also see the new friend of the show, a scholar, she was invited to by Candace. So as all the ladies are on the bus, of course it's asked if Ashley was invited or is she coming. And before Candace can respond, Giselle tells her for the first time that she invited Ashley anyway, and she's just coming for a day. Candace is surprised by it, but I knew she wasn't going to go against Giselle. Like, she wants to be on the winning team, whatever that is, with Robin and Giselle. Candace really does not see it for Ashley, especially in her confessional. She says, don't this hoe got a healing coochie? Like, wow. Like, Potomac's confessionals are just as ruthless as the ladies from Married to Medicine. So later on, the ladies' attention is focused to the pole on the bus. And Robin immediately asks Mia, oh, why don't you show us some moves? Shady, shady. But Mia's like, I didn't strip on the pole, so I wouldn't know about that. Okay, girl. So Candace goes first to dance on the pole, and not production, putting a little tip counter at the bottom to see how the ladies did. I'm gonna talk about the ones that stood out. Now, Karen, it looked exactly how Karen would get on the pole. It wasn't that bad. Giselle, she was stiff as a board, and I see why she might be having problems trying to find a man. Wendy almost broke her ankle trying to be sexy and swinging them new braids she got. And then we have Mia, who completely shuts it down on the pole. And you see the tip counter go up to like $200 something. Of course, this is followed by shady comments in the confessionals by the other ladies, but regardless of Mia's background, she did the best on the pole. So later, Candace lets the ladies know that they're going to be divided into two houses. There's the one main house that has 4 rooms, which is going to go to herself, the Green-Eyed Bandits, and Mia. And then the cottage, which is 3-bedroom, and it's going to go to Escale, Karen, and Wendy. This is shade already. Like, they could have got maybe 2 main houses instead of this bigger house and then this smaller house that does not even compare. Karen also brings up on the bus that she's going to be sworn in as an ambassador in a town near Williamsburg, and she actually invites Wendy to come along with her. To which Giselle is wondering, how did they get so close all of a sudden? I tell you, Giselle just be pressed. Like, if she is your enemy, she is really your enemy. So the ladies arrive to the property, and I gotta admit, this looks really, really nice. I'm surprised because Candace is the one who's hosting this trip. I'm sure maybe Bravo paid for it. So the ladies are all situated now. They're at lunch. Everyone has chosen their rooms in the main house at least. And then Robin tells Mia, not ask her, tells Mia that she'll be going downstairs now because she wants to be upstairs with Giselle. And Mia is nicer than me because she was unbothered. She was just like, oh yeah, you can take it. Everyone else at the table is like, oh, she got punked. Now, after the show aired on Sunday, Mia did say her thoughts on that. Now, first Candace said that was some real pro-fight hazing there, just gonna kick the girl out her room. I wouldn't have took that. To which Mia responds, I thought it'd be nice and share some luxury with those who may not get to experience at home often. Ooh! Mia, I will say I will be expecting this level of shade at the reunion. Make sure you keep that same energy. But yeah, who does Robin think she is? Like, she really gonna be up Giselle's cooch that much to just kick her out her own room? You already got the nice house, but you gotta be right next to your best friend? Couldn't be me. I mean, she could have at least just asked instead of just telling her in front of all the other ladies. Karen does say a little smart comment in regards to that, which then later Giselle is saying to the whole table, does anybody want to apologize to anybody before we start this trip? And clearly she's talking about Karen. It's radio silence at the table. Then Karen looks up from her food. Are you talking to me? Just really funny. And Karen says she's actually waiting on an apology from Giselle. She said she already sent an apology to the group via text about the little situation they had at Wendy's party. But Giselle specifically wants an apology from Karen for lying on her family. Now, when I think back to the reunion that Giselle got embarrassed at, I didn't think Karen lied about anything. Was Jamal coming? Of course not. And the only thing Karen brought up was a question to Giselle, asking, is it true that Jamal fathered a baby out of wedlock while he was dating you? She didn't say it was true, she just asked you if it was true. Like, Giselle always brings up a rumor concerning somebody's marriage, but the one time Karen does it to her, it's different. But here we go again, Karen versus Giselle in full swing. And it's basically an argument over who should apologize first. Karen doesn't want to talk about it right now, but it's brought up to her, oh, are you still angry about Giselle allegedly wishing death on Ray? And she said that's exactly it. I mean, I don't really care for Giselle, but I knew in that instant she wasn't wishing death on Ray. And plus, that was 4 years ago. And here come Robin, her guard dog, barking in a conversation that has nothing to do with her. Like, girl, mind your business. Karen tells the other ladies at the table that Giselle is only mad because it was revealed that she was a fraud and she was living a lie. Giselle says that she does apologize for anything she said a few years ago, but she's calling Karen out on bullshit, saying that she wished death on Ray. She says, I want Ray to live, but I also want Ray to pay his bills. To which then the screen fades to black, and it's to be continued, and that is where the episode ends. I mean, we heard that line in the previews, and that's where they stop. They ain't shit. They really ain't shit, production. So again, I think this was another good episode in my opinion. Giselle keeps showing us that she's as jealous as she is miserable. And a hater. And Karen, I love you, but to be fair, you cannot be mad at Giselle for a comment she said 4 years ago that you know she wasn't wishing death on Ray. Like, it was funny when she said it, but we all know that she was not wishing death on your husband. So she needs to let that go. Hopefully in this next episode, they move past this and we can get to some other drama. Which leads me to talk about the preview for next week. And I'm very interested because now we have Wendy versus Giselle because she found out from Messy Ashley the rumor that she's spreading. I personally just can't wait for Giselle to be checked by someone other than Karen. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next video. Bye.